Because here's the reality. Every leader will either be a hero or a villain to every person that they lead. And
Wow.
too few leaders intentionally position themselves so that they can make their employees' lives better, so that they can make their vendors' lives, customers' lives better. And so I want you to be a hero to the people that you lead.
What a great way of looking at it. You're going to be a hero or a villain to every single person that you lead. Before we dive into what we're going to talk about, would you mind giving a little more depth on that you will be a hero or a villain? Because I think we got enough people on this call, and sales has its own sense of challenges that come along with it. Any thoughts around this hero/villain persona thing that, again, I didn't know we were going to talk about it, but it got my attention. I'd love to go maybe one level deeper on that.
Sure. So if every person who's listening to this, just take a minute and think back about the specific bosses who you have had in your life, or maybe they were pastors, or maybe they were a leader in some community involvement, or a coach that you had. But just think back to those people, name them, and then ask yourself the question: when you walked away from their leadership, was your life better as a result of being around them, or was your life worse as a result? Did they do damage to you? And I've done this with hundreds of people in the past, and they will go through and they'll talk about, the first boss they ever had, or the little league coach that they had, and they'll talk about the heroes that they were and the way that they shaped them. And then they'll get to one of those bosses, right? Or one of those, leaders that was in a nonprofit who helped them. And you can see the damage that leader caused, and the wake of destruction that leader caused in a person's life. And there are no neutral leaders. You're either going to do incredible good in people's lives, or you're going to do some pretty serious damage in their lives. And a lot of it comes down to a leader who says, I want to be a better leader for the people who I lead. Those are the leaders who end up being heroes to most of the people.
Okay, I always am on high alert for what the title of our episode is going to be when we talk, and you just gave it to me.
Okay.
There are no neutral leaders. What a great way. Like, if all you get from the show today is put that lens in front of yourself, what am I? If there's no neutral, I'm either positive or I'm negative. And I would imagine that if leaders would be willing to look through that lens, we would get better almost instantly. Is that fair?
Exactly. Almost instantly, because you begin to think in terms of, what are the things that I could do to make other people's lives better? And we take the focus off of ourselves as leaders and onto the people we're leading, onto the customers who we're helping, onto the vendors we're interacting with, onto the shareholders that we're in charge of guiding their company. We immediately take the focus off of ourselves, and it makes us a better leader.